Good morning. I warmly welcome you here in Buitenhagen. So warmly is the wrong word, I guess. So outside it's -6 and also this barn is quite cold, but maybe we can warm up with co-digestion. So I want to give you an additional talk about possibilities to enhance the biogas production by using co-substrates. And at first, my favorite motivation slide is that also Jörg has mentioned that maybe we have to focus on CO2 emissions, but also the fossil resources run out. So maybe we can detect more in future, but it's not reliable. So you can see here, maybe even uranium will run out in 42 years, and also lignite, and Germany tries to stop lignite production quite earlier, although they have just prolonged this. You see here, I have, no, maybe you cannot see exactly, I have added a new sign for uranium. On my last presentation, I had this on the slides. So we have started here in Germany the energy change, although it's not really strongly forced by our government, but it could be. So I have the newest numbers here, the newest numbers for the electricity production. You can see the electricity is produced mainly from lignite, although it will close up the next years. Then we have also the black coal, and still we have nuclear power, 40%, and natural gas due to our former chancellor with good contracts with Russia, and he built up a new pipeline from also through the Baltic Sea, which destroys a lot of environment. So we go up to 8%, 9%, but we have already a huge part of the renewables, which are the basis for around 30% of our electrical energy. So mostly you have seen windmills. We have windmills here in the north. That's also the challenge to transport the electricity to the south, because most of the wind comes up here in the north. And also we have a small ratio of solar power. Also the longest sun hours appear also in the north, on the island of Rügen or Usedom, maybe 1,000, 2,000 hours, although 1 year has only 8,760 hours, and there's also night, so it's quite much sun time. It's not on the list. 1.3% is generated by biogas from a digester, from the wastewater treatment plants. But this biogas is not stated as renewable according to the laws, and also in future they will charge tax on that. So that's a pity, I think. There was made a study by the BWR Energy Group, and it was around, so it's not correctly cited. It was Mr. Schröder mainly, and also Mr. Schmelz. So we had the power generation at that time 11.5 kilowatt per inhabitant in year, and heat generation double. So, but there are estimated more potentials if you operate your digester in a quite efficient mode. So if you have instead, still some of those digesters have only heaters. They don't have combined heat power stations. So if you build up combined heat power station with a higher efficiency, or also if you add disintegration and a better utilization of the digester, you can get double values compared to the status quo. And also there's a potential if you build up smaller wastewater treatment plants, which actually have extended aeration, equipped with digesters. So, but we have here the last slide where we have lower CO2 emission in extended aeration. So we must discuss this later. But for each case, the economic aspects must be checked. So the motivation, we had already the energetic potential and the sludge today. In Germany, actually, we have a decreasing amount of sludge. Actually, we have only 1.8 million tons of dry solids. So the reduction of cost due the increasing production of methane, so then we can generate electric energy and heat. But how to increase this gas production? So maybe setting up digestion also for smaller plants. So I have seen plants which have a capacity of 20,000 population equivalent. So they are equipped with a digester. So using the free capacity in digesters, maybe there is free capacity, adding co-substrates. And there was a survey done by the University of Hanover. So they detected that there is a free capacity 60 to 90% in digesters possible. So, but I didn't make this study on my own, so you can only trust your own values, I guess. I think the role of fermentation or co-fermentation becomes more and more important, but there are you have to look at also other options. We have heard already an increased efficiency of the primary settler, maybe adding chemicals like Jörg has presented us. Also an adjusted sludge age in the activated sludge plant. So adjusted sludge age means that we have the performance for nitrification and denitrification, but we don't have to prolong it at a certain extent, so we can save it. So an optimal operation of the digester, control of the temperature, flow, mixing, and so on. Maybe also we can add disintegration. Karl will explain it later, so I don't go into the details. And so an increased digestion of the shear sludge, adding maybe co-fermentation or combined or interconnected plants. So Michael Friedrich made a good study here in the region based on the economical aspects. So combined biowaste treatment, what is the advantage? Of course, I mentioned the energy change, and we have a lot of biomass and biogas plants, and they are in competition to our digesters at the municipal sludge plants. So, but we have these digesters. They are good, elaborated. We have a good experiences, and we have the systems for the biogas treatment and purification and usage. Also, we have sludge treatment. We have can treat the surplus water. We have experienced collaborators on the sites, and of course we have often free capacities. But sometimes it's difficult to get the substrates because they are already under contract. So it's not so easy. I will explain later. So we have also some legal aspect. So we have to check our water law, if the permission is according to the water law, and also the waste law in Germany. So I don't want to go in all those details, but we have to control our capacity of our treatment plant. We have to prove the efficiency of our wastewater treatment, specifically for the reject water. We mentioned this plus of nitrogen, which comes back from the supernatant of the dewatering units. So also we have to look at the noise and odor emission. Additionally, maybe traffic also. Additionally, trucks come to our plant, and also this has to be regarded. Also the hygienic aspects, depending on the substrate which you choose. And maybe in the end you have to do a life cycle assessment for the decision making of your plant. So I have taken here also a non-sided possible process scheme, so we can put it, deliver our bio-waste directly. Maybe we have a pre-destruction, a grinder or whatever, a separator, a storage tank, and then we can add it to our digester. So also we can take fluids. Maybe I would recommend at least the screen. That's very important. We see later also in my example. And sometimes you can apply it directly, but this really depends on the substrate you get. So some properties you need for your co-substrate. Of course, it must be digestible, it must be mixable. Maybe you want to pump it also, and also free of other impurities. And most important substrates you can take here from fat separators out of your region. So this is more or less easier also by the law to collect them. And maybe food, luxury food industry, dairies, organic waste. So I have, in the documents I have a list of some co-substrates and also of the yield, of the gas yield you can get. You must choose a co-substrate which has a similar gas rate as the sludge, for example. But there are still some waste things on the list. Maybe, oh no, not on that list. I have another one. So which are not waste anymore. So for example, you can get wheat from the dairy as a waste, but actually they sell it to you as a health drink combined with fruits and so on. So it's not anymore a waste. So it's not available for you. So in that case, we had in Berlin we had inquiry. We wanted to start up the second largest plant equipped with co-substrates, but there was no substrate we could get. And so they wrote to all those Döner Kebab fast food bars, 33,000 letters. Yeah, and we get a small response, but it was very difficult to get contracts and to collect all those kinds of fat traps. And by the way, also the Berlin Senate detected that they had no real control of those fat traps. Usually a restaurant should have one, but it wasn't controlled. So they detected some missing fat traps and also wrong operation of the fat traps. Holger, I remember we did this for Rostock some years ago. Also, we even looked at the ice cream bars and so on. But yeah, Berlin was not well equipped in that case. So, but we are well equipped with a treatment plant. So the second largest one, the newest one, Berlin-Wassmannsdorf. So around 1 million connected population equivalent. You can see here the figures. And also in the end, we have digestion, 6 digesters. So you can see them on the slide. We had made a carefully start up of this co-fermentation. And so we add co-substrate in one line, and we had a parallel line also where we could measure the biogas production and the behavior, also the foaming and everything. And you can see here, this is the delivery station, but this was the delivery station only for the startup. Now they built it a good one, a large one, or more or less a professional one. So you can see here, this is a storage tank, and also here we have the inlet, and yeah, a lot of handwork to do because we had to clean the screen manually. So this was the first point we changed. So there is no manual screen. So now we have an automatical screen, and you can see what can be found in these fat traps. So we have a packaging material, we have rubber gloves, so we have forks and knives and plastic dishes, dead rats, everything we could find here. So you can see it looks like that. So it's maybe not a really good co-substrate, but if you compare, so this is our normal PET separated content. If you see the volatile solids, average 94%. So we have a literature survey, and also if you concentrate additionally by heat the fat from the fat separator, you get a higher volatile solid. It's given here as the average. Yes, we made 2 test phases for the startup. You can see here we used hydraulic retention time at a little bit lower than 20, and we had a quite similar load, but this was the problem, to have a good load. So I will explain later. So in the end, we got additional gas production in both phases. You can see additional gas production around 32%, 35%, and additional only the gas yield related to the volatile solids around 1,000 liters per day. So, but this is the detailed. These are the detailed curves of the loading rate. So in yellow, so this is always the loading. So you can see we couldn't balance it exactly because it depends on the contracts and the trucks coming in. And I want to emphasize specifically this peak. Unfortunately, I couldn't find back my slide. So that was the day we had food waste from a marmalade production. So, and it was in winter time, and the digester completely foamed over, and there was a nice red curve around this digester, and it was frozen. So I haven't this picture, but I have it in mind, and also the discussion with the Berlin colleagues. So in comparison to other substrates, we have here an overview of our results, and you can see the gas yield is quite in the middle of the different substrates, and a little bit lower than other PET separators, but these are PET separators with the heat-treated fat. But you can see also this Y is not available anymore because we feed it to other sportsmen. So actually we have 2 new projects. One is in Jordan, so in Mutamazar. There we want to set up, together with the GIZ and a German consultancy, also a co-digestion from a university and a military place. So it's difficult because also in Jordan, the universities have semester holidays. So during the holidays, the canteen doesn't produce waste. So we have to think about this. This will be realized in the next month. And also we have a new project in South Africa, also together with the GIZ, in Mumbela. So there we look at possible co-substrate at first, and we know already that there is an additional capacity in the digesters. So to sum up, co-fermentation, of course, offers an option for additional production of energy at wastewater treatment plants, but you have to regard several aspects. You need, of course, free digester volume. You need to check out whether the reject water can be treated in your plant, and also maybe if you have to hygienize the impact. So if you just use PET, it's not the problem, but if you use other substrates, you might use hygienization. So, and our recommendation was out of this experience in Berlin Wassmannsdorf that the hydraulic detention time should be at least 20 to 25 days. And they upgraded this, and actually they have a good success with the co-fermentation. So thank you for your attention.